Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let me tell you this, right? Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to. And leave a little donation for the fried rice and chicken wings. Go out there to my page. Pick up some merchandise. I'd appreciate it, man. Golden Boy. They're about to ruin Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis doesn't have much left on his boxing career. But for what they could be lining up for Ryan Garcia is an ex-champion, two-time champion, named Regis Prograis. Let's understand this. I know what Regis Prograis was. I know what he did when he fought Josh Taylor. He was in his prime. Josh Taylor were in their prime. I know the wars Regis Prograis has been in. He likes to scrap. But if he keeps messing around with Golden Boy, they're going to use him up for probably 3 fights. And then we're going to hear him announce retirement from the sport of boxing. You saw what happened to Tevin Farmer, didn't you? Regis Prograis is going that direction. There's no way in the world Regis Prograis, who wants to be on a path to glory, should have that used against him by saying, you know what? We at Golden Boy are going to get you back on the path to glory. But there's some risk you have to assume in your very next fight. Had to face Ryan Garcia. Let me tell you something. Ryan Garcia and Regis Prograis, that shit is a blend of grit, because Regis Prograis is gritty. He's not going to quit, man. But I just think right now, even though it's Ryan Garcia, not many people think highly about Ryan Garcia. I just think Ryan Garcia is just what flash he has left in him. Now that he seems to be devoid of the Osterine and shit. I just think if they meet at 154 pounds, it could be, 144 pounds. Because that's what Regis mentioned, and Ryan's not going to 140, so it seems like the sweet spot is 144. Ryan was talking about 147. Regis was even talking about going to 147. So, irregardless of the weight, whoever they decide to meet between 144 and 147, the southpaw pressure from Regis, but that orthodox speed of Ryan, and the fact that Regis, his punch resistance is out of here, I don't think Regis stands a chance. This is the problem. Regis Prograis has been in wars. He's 36. Ryan Garcia really hasn't been in too much of anything, except always some drama, right? 26 years old. Southpaw and Regis Prograis, orthodox fighter Ryan. Some people say, Regis is a southpaw. He's got an advantage. He can land the left. Not when you're sitting on a 67-inch reach. And Ryan Garcia, the numbers are reported between like 70 and 72 inches. And Ryan Garcia is fast as hell. If Ryan is only looking for the big left hook, Ryan will knock him out cold, because Regis keeps that right hand down by his waist. And when he's trying to shoot that lazy jab and bring it back to his hip, Ryan Garcia will knock Regis Prograis out cold. But Golden Boy knows that. Who do you think Golden Boy is invested in? Regis Prograis or Ryan Garcia? Whether you like Ryan Garcia or not, he's right. He's a superstar. They don't want Regis to beat Ryan. Regis has become Golden Boy's tool. You know what you do with tools? You use them to fix things, to repair things. And right now, they need to fix and repair the career of Ryan Garcia. Don't take the bait, Regis. This is a shakedown, like Shannon Sharp said. Garcia has the reach, got the youth advantage. That shit is all problems for Regis Prograis. Of course, Regis Prograis got more ring experience than IQ. He was in great shape last night. His hands looked fast. Everything was looking good. Except his defense is very questionable, and his chin is straight up in the air, and his punch resistance is gone. He is perfectly suited for Ryan Garcia's flash, kaboom, mash up, crash up, to death do us part left hook. You know Ryan with that fast-ass left hook, the reach advantage, you're going to shoot that shit right over Regis Prograis' weak-ass right hand, the jab, the lazy jab. Jojo Diaz was sitting there landing, because he's southpaw, he was landing the left hand on him, but Ryan is orthodox, but it's the left hook. The bottom line is anything coming from the left, to the left, to the left, is kryptonite to the once Superman, Regis Prograis. Now, you know, how could a guy like Regis Prograis beat Ryan Garcia, man? I'm just telling you, I don't think he beats him. I think Ryan will knock Regis Prograis out so bad that Regis Prograis would never fight again. You see, this is what sucks. Oscar De La Hoya and the whole Golden Boy staff, they know Regis. And this is why you can't be sounding desperate and shit. If you listen to Regis Prograis last night, he's so desperate, man. He want to get to a big money fight. He want to get back to titles. He wants money. He don't want to move down the ladder. He's not reversing. He's moving up the ladder. I understand, but he just sound thirsty and shit. Give me water. I want a drink. Somebody help me. You doing that with De La Hoya? You know Oscar De La Hoya don't give a shit about nobody. So now the Rougarou, and I like Regis, man. Don't let them kill you, man. But, you know, maybe you got to take a risk. Maybe you do got to go and fight a guy like Ryan to get your ass to Saudi, which is where he's trying to go because he's trying to get that money. Hopefully he got his finances straight. He's been financially disciplined. He understands financial management, resource management, and he's been living within his means, and he doesn't need to be out here getting into such a risky fight to where it could be career ending. Now, of course, it's the path to glory if he beats Ryan, then it's career defining. But how can he win? Okay, now if I'm just having a conversation and not, you know, talking about what I feel and invoking emotion, because I'm telling you, I think Regis Prograis will get destabilized, tranquilized, laid to rest by Ryan Garcia. Right now, Regis ain't the same, but forget that. Pressure and body work. We know Regis Prograis, he thrives, man, when he can come forward and start putting that pressure on you and letting his hands go, walk you down, rip to the body, even go upstairs. That's one way that Regis Prograis can win. I mean, I just be honest with you, I just don't see him doing it. He uses great angles, man. Very effective. Very effective. He's proven to be very effective as a southpaw with those angles. Ryan Garcia, is no question that he struggled with timing against lefties. You know what I'm saying? But now we're talking about a guy like Gervonta Davis. That's a whole nother ball of wax. But the bottom line is Garcia has struggled with timing and lefties. And Regis Prograis, if Ryan isn't throwing the right hand, he's just shooting left, and Regis is prepared for the Ryan left hook, Regis could counter him with his straight left. You know what I'm saying? And then the other thing that with Regis Prograis, where you just got to give him credit, when you look at him, you look at Ryan, who's more durable? Now, although Regis Prograis has never been stopped, I don't know. I'll put it to this way. Regis Prograis likes being in a hot kitchen. But I don't think he can take the heat any longer. Shit, man, that initial onslaught from Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia starts fast, man. If that shit starts to heat up early, I think Prograis is gonna get clipped. But if he can somehow prove that, hey, I can still take the heat in the kitchen, and next thing you know, he could drown Ryan Garcia late down, in the later rounds, and Regis Prograis again. Now you got career defining instead of career ending fight because he comes and he somehow beats Ryan Garcia. Look what the Ryan Garcia victory did for Rolly Romero. But I'm just telling you, Regis has never been stopped. But he looks like he is just one right hand or left hook away from getting knocked out cold because his defense is horrible. His chin is in the air. He's stiff like a mannequin. And last night when he was getting hit by Jojo Diaz, Regis Prograis had the guy that was stiff as a mannequin and getting up, and well, he didn't get knocked down, but his was stiffening up and just kind of fumbling along the ring. Looked like K9 Bundridge when he fought Cardington or Codrington or whatever. K9 got dropped and he got up and his legs were stiff and he was looking crazy and shit. You know what I mean? Zab Judah got up after he got knocked down by Costa Zoo. His legs were stiff and he was trying to say some shit to the ref and he fell back down. Regis Prograis didn't go down, but he had that same stiffness. He had that same appearance. And I was like, oh shit, he gonna get knocked out by Jojo Diaz. So maybe Jojo Diaz took just enough of what remained for Ryan Garcia to come out here and land one of those clean up left hooks to totally short circuit Regis Prograis. And that's what Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy wants. You got to be careful, man, because the pressure and body work, the southpaw angles, and his durability, it just ain't there, man. Not like back in the day. The shit all started with Devin Haney. Devin Haney, actually with Zorilla. Devin talking about I ruined him. Devin, that's the thing about Devin Haney, is so annoying. He's so green and sheltered that he's just, when he says things, you can just tell he's just talking. Devin Haney didn't ruin Regis Prograis. You saw Regis Prograis fought Zorilla, and Zorilla dropped his ass in that first round. He was hurt bad. They should have stopped the fight. They didn't call it a knockdown. That shit was a bit of Eddie Hearn, the matchroom, and the secret society protecting Eddie Hearn's investment, Regis Prograis. Corruption and boxing at its finest. We know how that shit goes. But then he fought Devin. I said Devin was going to beat him. I said Devin going to beat him. Tall, long, fast, the reach advantage. Regis looked crazy against Zorilla, and he went and did the business. But for Ryan Garcia, I just think between what happened with Zorilla and Regis, Devin and Regis, Jojo and Regis, Catterall and Regis, I just think Ryan Garcia coming along now is the perfect fight for Golden Boy and for Ryan. To have Ryan come and clip a two-time champion, one of the guys who at one point in time was being argued as maybe a top 5 fighter. He was that, I put it this way, the best fighter at 140 pounds. But just, too little too late for Regis and all the opportunity in the world for Ryan Garcia. Now, how can Ryan Garcia win? I'm just telling you, the goddamn left hook. That's it. Ryan Garcia can come in there and just throw 1,000 left hooks. He's going to land one and knock Regis Prograis out. Simple. Speed and explosiveness, man. Regis started boxing late. That bad habit he had of keeping his hands down around his waist and his chin in the air, that shit ain't changing. That's the same shit that got him in trouble with Catterall. Catterall, southpaw versus southpaw. His land the left hand. Regis Prograis is susceptible to left hands. Straight left hook, because he doesn't bring his hands back. If he got his hands back, Regis Prograis would be okay. Because he still got some fight in him, but Ryan Garcia's left hook is lightning, that's all I'm saying. And if that shit strike is over. If he turns Regis Prograis early, I'm telling you, man, that shit can be lights out. I think it's going to be. Reach advantage. Look, it goes to Ryan Garcia, so, he can keep Regis Prograis at bay with his jab, drop the right hand. Ryan Garcia can have fun with Regis in there. But when he shoots the left hand, the fun comes to an end because you're going to knock him out cold. Quick combinations that Ryan has. Ryan's physical, too. He's mean in the ring. And I think you can get in there and bully Regis. You got to remember, man, Regis, again, he's up there in age, heading towards 40 years old. Ryan's heading towards 30. You know what I'm saying? 26 years old. Let's stop acting like Ryan Garcia's career's over. Them quick twitch reflexes, sharper than Regis. I'm telling you, if he stays disciplined, even if he doesn't go for the knockout, he's going to outpoint Regis and beat him and make him look crazy. And again, that's what Golden Boy wants. So somebody was talking about, yeah, but Ryan Garcia is weak. Mental toughness. You know what, man? Ryan Garcia's recent losses and distractions could affect his focus. But don't act like Regis Prograis and the way he got hurt by Zaria, lost to Tevin, lost to Catterall, the way he won last night, but the way he was getting hurt by Jojo Diaz, a guy who's come from 130. Don't act like Regis Prograis isn't as focused as he could be. And he would need to be facing a guy like Ryan Garcia. There's a lot of wear and tear on Regis Prograis, man. At 36 years old, man, coming off of them tough fights. He's just not what he was, man. I don't even like to say it. I like Regis. Regis is one of the realest fighters out there. He does good, he says he does good. He says he does bad, he says he does bad. If somebody did something great, he gives them credit. But I'm just being real. The same way he can sit there and acknowledge the pros and cons to the fights for him and for his opponent, he got to be looking at himself right now at home, where he's in the bathroom in the mirror, laying down that bed, looking up, and just thinking to himself. He got to be saying, "I gotta fix this chin." Now, I think he may have overtrained. Now, overtrained doesn't mean that he started to fatigue. No, he looked great, but underneath the overtraining umbrella is sparring as well. I think he may have sparred too much. But he's been showing he's chinny for a while now. But maybe the sparring is taking something out of him too, you know what I mean? Getting in there and getting touched up and hit and banged up. So now he gets in a fight and he's punchy. Anyway, if the fight happens at 140, everybody's going to have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I realize. If you like somebody, you like somebody. If you don't, you don't. But I just think if Garcia stays composed and boxes smart, I think he could win a decision or knock Regis Prograis out cold. If Prograis gets inside, he makes it ugly, which he doesn't really do. Maybe he has a chance to land something big and stop Ryan Garcia and hurt him, and then Ryan Garcia, refrains from punching like he did after Rolly Romero landed the big double left hook on him. Maybe. But if you ask me, the fight with Regis, is it him facing Ryan Garcia, is it a path to glory or a path of risk? I think his shit is more of a path to risk. And I think it's going to be a career-ending fight. But if somehow he clips Ryan Garcia, the path to glory, career-defining is exactly what it'll be. Now, for those of you who are saying Golden Boy is not ruining him, Regis Prograis is navigating his own path. Look, he was matched against Jojo Diaz, a fight that really many of us thought Regis was going to win. But Jojo Diaz, former champion, not a young lion, a lot of ups and downs in his personal life, drugs, etc. Very unfortunate alcoholism. If Jojo Diaz would have left all that shit alone and would have been a healthy fighter, I think Jojo Diaz would have beat Regis Prograis. But fortunately for Regis and unfortunately for Jojo Diaz, they had the crossroads fight, and Regis came out victorious. So to me, it was just a bit more than a high risk youth test, because although Jojo Diaz was younger, he's just been through so much, and I think he needs to understand his career path and don't let Golden Boy mismanage him. I'm telling you, just gonna feed him to these lions, man. These young lions. And Regis is so desperate for the money, for the glory, trying to get a title, trying to get to Saudi. They're probably gonna sell him on, hey, okay, one more fight. It's not quite the money you want, but if you do this, we're gonna lead you to the promised land. And he's gonna take the bait. He ain't with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, he ain't got time to waste money on people who look like there's not much promise to him. Eddie Hearn, he loved his father's business, and he ain't gonna come out here and lose money and make bad investments. He ain't gonna do that. Eddie Hearn puts his father before everyone else. And even when old man's gone, he going to put his father before everyone else because it's Barry Hearn that created the lifestyle that Eddie Hearn's been privileged to live because his father's hard work and will to assume a lot of risk in launching businesses. Eddie Hearn ain't going to sit there, man, and throw some of that shit away over Regis Prograis or any fighter. I expect another co-main slot for Regis. I don't think he'll be in another main event. I think Regis, unfortunately for him, is just going to be on co-main street. And that's what he has to accept. Now, if he can come out here and land the Rougarou Bing Bing on his next opponent and tranquilize him and do something that we've seen him do before, well, then he's back. And he's an all-out action fighter. And that could get him out there on the Riyadh season card to fight someone that, Turki Al-Sheikh wants to see him fight. And it'd probably be someone who Turki Al-Sheikh favors who go in there and knock Regis out. And like Pacquiao says, in a toe-to-toe type fight. So no matter how you look at it, Regis Prograis is going to get ruined. He's going to get ruined. But hopefully he make another $15 million or something. And then when he realizes, okay, I need to stop this shit, he can go on and just chill. My man won. He started boxing late. He wasn't supposed to be where he's at. And look at what he's accomplished. It's just, for me, sitting back watching this, I don't like it. I don't like it. They could say they're trying to rebuild his stock. I think they're burning his stock. You know what I'm saying? The matchmaking, we're going to see what happens. Hey, they may not put him in the ring with Ryan, but I heard that, was thrown out there. I'm like, oh, shit. And matchmaking is supposed to be aimed at rebuilding his stock. It seemed to me like they're trying to burn his stock. You know what I'm saying? Put him in there with Ryan. That fight would be rebuilding Ryan's stock. But again, if you have two fighters, right? Whose stock you want to rebuild? It's Ryan's. Anyway, we'll see what the future holds out. Regis calling out Tevin. Tevin already said, no, I'm not going to fight you. Regis talking about he wants to chase relevance and get his get back against a guy like Haney. He called out Ryan. We know that's the fight that I think is going to happen. But I just think his career moves need to be smart. And of course, at the point he's at, he wants the most money possible. But I mean, you want one fight and good money for a whole lot of risk, and then your career comes to an end, or you want to get 3-4 fights with some risk, but not a whole lot, where you have career-defining moments and you get to keep moving up the ladder. But at some point, Regis is going to plateau and he ain't going no further. I think if you put him in there with Ryan, it's over. You put him in there with Tevin, I think it's over. But he wants to test his drawing power. Golden Boy also wants to test Regis' drawing power. And if he wins and looks good, they're going to cash in. But if they can't, I'm telling you what they're going to do. They're going to pivot, just like Eddie Hearn did, and they're going to leave him there in the breeze, like a nowhereian. You know what a nowhereian is? A person that has nowhere to go. And that's exactly what they're going to do to Regis Prograis. Leave that man in the breeze like a goddamn nowhereian. So, what's my verdict on this shit? Is Golden Boy ruining him? I think they're ruining. I think they're going to ruin him. But one thing for sure is they're walking a very tight rope. Because remember, they're all about glory and risk too for their company. And getting behind a guy like Regis is a whole lot of risk. So let's see what happens if they put him in with a young, explosive fighter like a Ryan Garcia. I don't even think Garcia needs a tune-up for Regis right now. But when you look at the style advantage, I think it's a big legacy gamble for Regis if he's saying, well, Ryan didn't look that good against Rolly. He's coming off of inactivity. I just think it's a legacy gamble. And I think he's going to lose. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Regis Prograis was a bad boy, and he's still an amazing fighter. He's just been through too much, man. Too much. Y'all keep cool. Good luck to Regis. Be careful with them Golden Boy boys. I think they're going to ruin him. I do. Same way they did Tevin Farmer. 3 fights and done. Who he fought? Murataya, Tua Zepeda, career over. No, Murataya, Tua Zepeda, and Schofield, career over. Regis has fought Jojo Diaz. Let's see what they do with him next. If it's Ryan Garcia, I think it ends there. But if he somehow beats Ryan, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Probably try to get him in a big fight over there on the Riyadh season card against somebody where they're not going to care if he wins or lose, because the amount of money Turkey she's going to put up, everybody wins. That being said, yo, man, y'all keep cool, take care. I'm going to relax. I'm tired. In the breeze.